Deigedra Richardson, founder of Richardson's Business Services, will be hosting one such workshop, and she joins us this morning on GMSKN to tell us all about it. Good morning, Deigedra. Welcome to GMSKN. Welcome back, I should say.
Yes, welcome back indeed.
Good morning.
All right, so I want to know, first of all, what can you tell us about the workshop's concept, the success bridge, the level up experience?
The Success Bridge is a unit of Richardson's Business Services. With this unit, I have actually created a memorable experience for entrepreneurs through creative, reflective, and focused thinking so that they can be able to have an empowered mindset. And I will take them I will bridge the gap from where they are to where they need to go. So that's what Success Bridge is about, bridging the gap for entrepreneurs, taking them from where they are to where they need to go.
And so the leveling up part of it obviously takes them up.
Yes, because it's a journey, it's a story. I remembered last month when I launched the Level Up experience, we looked at beyond success. So success, you focus on yourself. But significance, that's when you think about the difference you can make for others. So we did that last month. So this month, step out. Yes.
I like it. So what was well, you said what you did last month. Is that the motivation for this workshop now?
The motivation for this workshop is to get entrepreneurs beyond the blueprint.
Okay.
Taking the ideas from the mind and putting action to it. This is where entrepreneurs would actually explore, challenge fears. Because many persons could achieve so much, but because of fears, they're held back. But step out, encourage you to challenge your fears. Get action. Let's move forward to make things happen. So this is about stepping out. For me, that was really a challenge. As you see today,
I know.
Camera is not my biggest friend.
But you're doing it well.
So stepping out, I stepped out. And I shut down the external voices. Everybody who would think maybe you can't. As you step out, you look within yourself and you let your potential shine.
All right, I want to follow up on something that you said, which is connected to, I guess, my understanding of what the Success Bridge is. And that is, obviously, when you're dealing with entrepreneurs, you're going to have, let's say, gaps in where they want to be. So how do you see your workshop addressing, for instance, individual gaps? Or are there some common collective gaps that you seek to address during this workshop?
As a bookkeeper, I would have worked with them from ground level up. Because when I step into businesses, I would look at the records and sometimes I observe the structure. And I prepare the accounts and I take it to the CPA who would prepare their taxes. So I would see a lot of shortfalls. I would see where the business is hemorrhaging. So having this backdrop, then I figure, how can I help them? What can I do to make a change to help this business stay open? And then I would red flag certain situations and I would make it known to the person who was in charge. And what I'm doing now, because I've had first-hand knowledge, I'm just looking at how can I counteract that. So these workshops, I am using themes that they can actually catch on to, right, and make it practical, not just a theme and you dismiss it. It's something that you would be faced with. Every day you need to walk, every day you need to step. So if you step out, when you're thinking of stepping, what are some of the challenges that you've stepped over? So it helps.
Nice, indeed it does. Why are you so passionate about ensuring that small businesses stay open?
My passion for this goes way back. Today, I celebrate small businesses. As a child growing up, I know what poverty was like. My mother having to raise 4 children, and she was working in the factory then. And the hardest part for me as a child was to go by the little mom and pop shops. And my mother would give me the shopping list because she would have always spoken to the shopkeeper. Take the list and you get some items on credit. And then the next Friday, I'm all excited. I'm going to pay for them. But it's not a happy moment because I'm paying for last week's grocery and I'm now crediting those for next week. So they have helped me. And when I look and I observe that some businesses closed down simply because the individual had an idea and they ran with the idea, but there was no business structure. And as a result of that, these businesses that could have been so successful, you can't find them now. So if I could help them, what can I do to keep these businesses open? And this was my personal challenge. I'm a person of faith. So I remember when we had the first lockdown for COVID, I looked at the businesses because just before the lockdown, things were really slow and some businesses, the income wasn't as what they would have expected. So now to close and these businesses are in person, it's a challenge. So what I did, I held 6 weeks free motivational sessions for entrepreneurs. And I did it on Zoom because I did not want these people to be depressed. It's hard. It's really hard because you don't know when things are going to change. You don't know. It's just so much uncertainties. It was difficult. So to help them, I said, what we are going to do, we're going to have a strategy. We're going to use this downtime to get ourselves together. If you're into food, this is a good time to clean up the stoves, do the fridge, all that you need to do. Wash up your pots, your pans. Go on YouTube, get some videos, get some recipes. So, and I encourage the others, do some certification courses. But I did not leave it there. What I did, I got a few persons to speak with them. So I remember having Laverne Keynes, I think she did customer service, and Christine Walwyn, she did, I think, his marketing. And then I had Alex Strawn, who did the JAD app. And I had Janelle Boone, who did something with technology, because I wanted them to keep motivated. It's hard, it's difficult, and especially if you live in a house by yourself. Think about it. You can't open your business, and there is no source of income. That's tough. And to be in a house all day because you're locked down, all day, all night.
Deigedra, earlier you mentioned that entrepreneurs are your main target. Do you intend to target any other individuals?
Yes, I'm thinking about the corporate world to have teams, build teams, using Everyone Communicates, Few Connect. This is a product from the John Maxwell team. Okay. And we can also do some Maxwell disc. The difference between, many persons would have done this before, but the Maxwell disc has a leadership disc included. And that is what separates the Maxwell from the other teams. So this is something I intend to use in corporate setting to build strong teams and to help them to push their leadership forward.
All right, so we've been talking about and we've been talking around the workshop. We have not yet mentioned the date and or the registration and or the registration process.
Okay, the registration is open. The workshop is the 13th of October at 7 p.m. The venue is Covenant Remnant Fellowship Ministries on Pond Road. That is the venue. The time is 7 p.m. Registration is open and it's only $40 US.
Okay, so say I can't physically attend at where it's being held. Can I log on virtually?
It's hybrid. It's going to be in person and virtual. Because last month I had some persons from Curacao and different parts of the world. They were there at the workshop for last month. So. And I've put it on Facebook where a person can go click the link to register. And those who are coming virtually can also click the Zoom link to register as well.
All right, great. Step Out. Not only the theme for this workshop, but I understand that it's affiliated with the 7-day Step Out Challenge. So why don't you tell us about that?
Yes, and we are on day 5. Day 5 is be visible. So no longer are you going to hide behind people and things. You're going to step out. Step out with your potential, your ability, your creativity. Let us see who the unique individual is. Step out and make a difference.
Good stuff. And I see that Deidre has surely stepped out.
Yes.
So Deidre, have you done this training before, and what has been your experience and your exposure?
Okay, I've done, just before COVID, I started workshops with entrepreneurs. We dealt with establishing business structure. I did that one. And then at church, I had, I think it was 4 weeks of training for entrepreneurs in our church. What I did, I facilitated the session, and I had different persons come in as I focused on specific aspect of the business. I look at the legal aspect of the business, and I had lawyer Sherry Charles to do that session. We looked at digital marketing, and then I had Stephen Smith to do that. So we had different aspects that they would work on. So I did that at church level, and I would have presented at conferences as well. So with this workshop, what I intend to do, because I'm a member of the John Maxwell leadership team, so with this workshop, I'm going to use some of the content and the resources from the Maxwell team to empower entrepreneurs.
All right, so they get the benefit of that, and they get the benefit of your experience as well.
Yes.
So that's great. Let's talk about the services that your business offers. We're talking about the workshop, but tell us specifically what services.
Okay, Richardson's Business Services, that's a bookkeeping entity. Success Bridge is a unit within Richardson's Business Services that focuses on speaking, public speaking, keynote speaking, coaching, training, facilitating, and then I offer behavior analysis consultancy services as well.
Okay, that sounds interesting, if I may. Behavior analysis, consultancy services as well. Can't believe I remembered all of that. Tell us a little about that.
Okay, this is where you use the Maxwell disc. You'll take an assessment, you get the report, and then there's a debrief where we would discuss what you've discovered about yourself, those aha moments. So we will go through that, and then I'll provide coaching and take the person to their next level. We would look at what the weaknesses, because the report generates that. So we would look at what the weaknesses are, and from the weaknesses, then I would make suggestions and would offer coaching session. But again, it's up to the individual to decide to go the next step. I'm willing to take them, but they got to be willing to come.
Got to be willing to step out.
Now it's step up, step out.
Step out. Yes.
So will this be an ongoing event or workshop for you?
Yes, I plan to have a workshop at least every month for the next, maybe for the next 6 months, at least once a month.
All right, let's talk about the caps that you have in terms of how many people can register, or how many people will you cater for?
In person, I can take 40 persons in person and maybe like 100 persons virtually.
Oh, so 40 in person and 100? Wow.
Yes.
And slots are still available, obviously.
Excuse me?
Slots are still available, obviously.
Yes, I do have slots available. The advantage for those in person, the interaction is different. Because if we are doing an icebreaker where you're asked to exchange places and do something, you can do more in person than you can do virtually. Virtually, you would have the experience, but being in the room is different.
Yeah. Because virtually, you might be at home by yourself. You can't exchange with yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, I got it.
And then if I ask to share a note with the person next to you, okay, suppose we're having this challenge now, and I said, tell me what you did for challenge number 5, being visible. And I said, give it to your neighbor.
Yeah.
Virtually, it's different to do that.
I don't have
It's difficult to do that. It's difficult.
I won't have a neighbor if I'm there by myself.
No, you could always type. Anyway.
It's different.
Just bad. You're just bad. You're
It's
just
very
bad.
good. All right. So one of the things I didn't ask you about in terms of the Step Out Challenge is exactly how people can participate in the Step Out Challenge. Is there room for people to participate in that?
What I did, I would post every day, sometimes about 1 past midnight. Okay. I would post for the next one because some people are early risers, and when I look on my status, sometimes I wonder if people don't sleep because as soon as I press send, in 2 minutes, persons are already viewing it. Yeah. So that's early in the morning. So I said, for the early risers, let me get this out there to start their day. Okay. So what I would do, I would post it and I would just make a little note just to encourage them. And on Facebook, I would post it on my page, my personal page, and the business page as well.